morning students. Now today in history we'll be learning about the education system. Now we are already aware about the three parts into which the education is divided. For example, the primary education, secondary education and higher secondary education. We are also aware about the different schemes that are implemented in the educational system. Presently also you must be aware about the new education policy which the government is trying to implement, okay, wherein it is 3 plus 3 plus 3 2 like this, accordingly it is going to be divided. So in this way we will be learning about the different policies and the different research institutes which came into existence in the educational policy. So we are doing lesson number 5, that is education part 1. Now what are we going to learn in this? So in this chapter we shall revive the main stages and schemes in the development of the educational system in India. So the various schemes that came into existence that were implemented at various stages for the development of educational system in India. Then we shall also take into consideration primary, secondary as well as higher secondary education. And apart from that, we will also learn about the different research institutes in some representative areas. Now, how is this going to help us out? This will give us an idea of the educational system throughout the country, right? So, let's study about the educational system in detail. Now, the first census of independent India in 1951 revealed the extreme complexity. So the first census of independent India after India got independence, that is in 1951, it revealed the extreme complexity and intractability of the educational issues in the country. Like we know that the people were not so educated, illiterate, and so in order for the further development of the country, education was must, and accordingly the educational system need to be developed. So in the first census we found that the literacy rate was about literacy level was 17%. So just imagine, just after independence you can see what was the literacy rate level, that is 17%. Now and later, as further new schemes and policies were implemented at various stages, it rose as shown below. Like you can see the census year is mentioned and the literacy rate is mentioned. So you can see in 1971 the literacy level it rose to 34%, that is double of 1951. Then 1981 it was 43%. 1991 it was 52% and in 2001 it was 64%. So when we look at the data we find that the percentage of the literacy level went on increasing. So people started getting more and more educated. Improving this percentage was a serious challenge to the government of India, and so there were several schemes were implemented, were put in place in order to deal with this. So in order to increase the literacy level, various schemes were implemented accordingly. So then let us study about in detail. So now today first what we are going to learn about is the primary education. Now what is included in the primary education? So primary education refers to the schooling given to children in the 6 to 14 years of age group. So the primary education, it tells us about the schooling that was given to the children from 16 to 14 years of age group, as we find that the most of the people were illiterate and also employment was not that much. So in 1988 the central government it started a scheme for the spread of primary education, and in order by spreading this, their main aim was to improve the educational standard of the country. So in 1988 a scheme was started, and what was that scheme known as? It was known as Operation Blackboard. Okay, so in 1988 the scheme which was implemented by the government was known as Operation Blackboard. So as I told you about primary education means education provided to the children from 6 to 14 years of age group, and accordingly in 1988 central government implemented the scheme in order to improve the educational standard. And what was that scheme called as? Operation Blackboard, right? Now, the government made funds available to help improve the standard of the schools and to fulfill minimum educational needs. So, in order to improve the standard of the school, what was required? The money was required, and so the government started raising funds, making funds available in order to improve the standard of the schools, and also whatever are the minimum needs of the education needs to be fulfilled. Now, such as at least 2 proper classroom. Now, what were the requirements of the schools? So at least 2 proper classrooms, toilets, one of the 2 teachers to be female, a blackboard, maps, laboratory apparatus, a small library, playground, sports equipment, etc. This scheme helped the primary system to gain importance or gain some momentum. Now, for example, see, when you go to a school, of course we expect all these things, right? So then only overall development of a child can be done. So accordingly, all these things were the basic necessities of a school, and the government raised funds in order to fulfill this basic necessities of the school. So these were some requirements of the school which needed to be fulfilled. So, and then we'll see, as I told you, that what was the requirement: classrooms, toilets, and 1 female teacher. So as we have girls also going to school, so 1 female as well as male as well as female teacher was required. Then the school should have a proper blackboard, maps as a teaching aid in order to teach the children, and a laboratory apparatus in order to do experiments. So these were some of the requirements of the schools. In 1994, this scheme was expanded and provision was made for 1 additional classroom and for appointing 1 more teacher in schools with an enrollment of more than 100 students. So as the years went off, we could see that there was development in the educational system. So in 1994, this scheme was expanded and provision was made for 1 more additional classroom and also appointment of the teachers in an enrollment of more than 100 students, with priority given to girls. So girls were also given equal importance in schools. The schools with a majority of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So also it also gave importance to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Students and schools in rural areas. So also schools were started for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in the rural areas as well. It also made binding upon the state government to appoint female teachers to 50% of the posts in schools. So whatever were the appointments in the government schools, so 50% of the posts should be for the female teachers. Okay, this was the requirement as said. So with a majority of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, so they should not be left out. Equal opportunity should be given to all the children, all the people in the society. So we can see here 100%, that means more of students to be enrolled in the school. Then more important, the priority was given to girls, and also schools for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes were started in the rural areas. Okay, so then we see that in 1994 the district primary education program, that is DPEP, was started with the objective of universalization of primary education. So in order to provide primary education at an universal scale, a program was started, that is district primary education. It was started in 1994 and it was implemented in about 7 states including Maharashtra. The plan envisaged 100% attendance in primary schools, arresting student dropout, and education for girls and for the physically handicapped. So, also most importance was given for 100% attendance of the students, and there should not be any kind of dropouts, and means people were forced to go to school and get educated, and also priority was given to physically handicapped. So they also should be self-reliant. So as I told you that the scheme, that is district primary education, that is DPEP, was started at an universal level, and it was started including Maharashtra. It was started in 7 states. Okay children. Now, it included programs such as research on an evaluation of primary education, alternative education, creating societal awareness, etc. So, more importance was given to education, and alternative means apart from the book knowledge, extra activities, extra knowledge also need to be provided. Also in the schools, the midday meal scheme was started in 1995 to provide proper nourishment for students. So midday meal, as now also you must be aware about, in government schools still we have this midday meal wherein the food is provided in the schools for the children. It was specially for the children living in the remote areas, in villages and all, wherein the financially they are not so well. So at least the children may come to school, they can eat also as well as study also, so they will get proper nourishment. Correct? So children, in today's class we have learnt in detail about the what is primary education, right? In that we have learnt about the various schemes that were implemented by the government for the further development of educational system, and how primary education was tried to be made into at universal level by the DPEP program, which was started including Maharashtra in 7 states. So the next part of the lesson will be continuing in our next class. That's all for today. Thank you children.